Hello and welcome to another episode of Scott Reads Comics. Today I'm going to cover two amazing, incredible Hulk annuals, annuals 7 and 8. I've talked about 7 before on the show, so I won't spend a ton of time on it. But I picked these up during my annual trip to Chicago to see my buddy Jan. We went to Comics for Less, which is quite possibly the greatest dollar bin / $2 bin comic shop I've ever been in. Once a month at Comics for Less, all of their $2 comics are $1. Unfortunately, during my visit, the timing wasn't right. So I was basically diving in $2 bins, but I still feel like I cleaned up. In addition to a bunch of other really cool things, probably my two favorite finds were these two annuals. Now, I have copies of both of these, but not in reader grade condition, which is what I consider these two to be. They're a bit chewed up, a bit beat. They're probably VG. I'm not a professional grader, but this is what I would put them at. Maybe somewhere between good and very good. But they're the kind of comics I love because you don't feel weird about pulling them out of the bag and board and reading them, leaving them laying around, whatever. And these are two of my favorite Hulk stories of all time. And this is just this is evidence of the kind of comics that you can get going through those bins at Comics for Less. It's so awesome. It's just different than the bin diving that I do here in the Pittsburgh area. And I'm sure folks will find this going from city to city. But it's just neat when you're kind of reminded of it, when you're experiencing it in the moment. And it was just great to find these two incredible annuals. I'll spend more time on annual 8, but let's first, of course, take a gander at Hulk annual number 7, published in 1978 by Marvel Comics. And it's funny, both of these annuals have two creators in common, and that's John Byrne and Roger Stern, which is great. More so 7 than 8, but we'll see that when we look at 8. So looking at number 7, we can see an amazing splash page, and I've talked about how much I love Bob Layton inks on John Byrne's pencils before, and they're just incredible. Byrne himself was not the biggest fan. I'm not really sure why, but I mean, it's really great. I really love Bob Layton's inks on John Byrne's pencils. Here we have Stern and Byrne as co-plotters. Stern, of course, is the writer, Byrne the penciler, Bob Layton the inker, Jim Novak letterer, Janice Cohen colorist, Bob Hall editor. Interesting, that's the artist Bob Hall. He was briefly an editor. Jim Shooter, editor-in-chief. And love John Byrne's Doc Samson. So cool. And we get two of the original X-Men here. We get Jim Wilson. We get some Samson Hulk action, which I've covered in the past. I did what I think is a pretty fun video on all the times the Hulk kicked the crap out of Doc Samson. I didn't get them all, but I got some of my favorites. And I think I covered this one in there too. And of course, the Master Mold shows up. And it just is, John Byrne, dare I say, again, at the height of his powers. And really great that Angel, kind of knowing the wider Marvel Universe, he knows the Hulk is a Gamma base, and he can't handle Master Mold, but maybe Hulk can. Of course, turns out Samson can't either. But I do love any comic that has Doc Samson in it. And of course, Master Mold KOs Angel. Hulk goes after him. Samson tries to, but can't make the leap. And amazing space vistas here. Really incredible. We've seen this before. Hulk cannot be contained by a prison meant for the Blob. No contest between the two. And yeah, the interaction between Hulk and Angel and Iceman in this are really fun too. Space? Oh crud, we're in orbit. How do we get down to Earth from here? Hulk has fallen further than that. Hulk can easily get down. But first, Hulk must smash that robot. That's fine for you, Hulk, but Iceman and I aren't as sturdy as you are. Bobby, keep him out of trouble. I'll look for a way off this thing. You want me to do what? Hey, Hulk, old buddy. What do you say we hang out here until Angel gets back, huh? Hulk? Bah! I was afraid you'd say that. Oh well. Wait for me, Mr. Green. So they're kind of uneasy allies with the Hulk in this, which is great. And it continues throughout the rest of the story. It's just fun to see, rather than the Hulk fighting heroes kind of teamed up with them. And of course, we got that a lot in Defenders. And that was one of the charm of Hulk's presence in the Defenders, too. And we get the terrible story of the Master Mold's origin. Hulk destroying him, seemingly. And then eventually, of course, they escape. And the whole base blows up. And to the very end, we get this just amazing artwork from Byrne and Bob Layton. Just incredible. So yeah, what a tremendous story. And for $2, come on, this is great. Probably at Ides, you'd probably pay $4 for this if you found it in their regular bins. And the real thing is, you're not going to find this issue in Ides dollar bins. You're not going to find it in New Dimensions dollar bins. Those are two of my favorite haunts here in Pittsburgh for dollar comics. All right, so on to annual number 8. All new Marvel's TV sensation, The Maiden and the Monsters. So we have a pretty great cover here. Uncredited cover. I'm going to say this is Rich Buckler, but I am not sure. I don't think it's Sal who's going to draw the interior. The interior of this is really nice. It's Sal Buscema and Alfredo Alcala. So we don't get this combo on Hulk. I don't think we ever get it again. Alcala does, no, we do get it actually, because at the end of the Ernie Chan run, I think Alfredo Alcala inks Sal on a couple of the regular issues of the series. So that I stand corrected. So pretty great here. The title is pretty simple, Sasquatch. So this time, 1979, it's not really that long after the debut of Alpha Flight. And so we're going to get to see probably their most flamboyant or most noticeable member or memorable member in Sasquatch featured prominently in this issue. And if we look at the credits, Roger Stern and John Byrne, writers. Sal Buscema and Alfredo Alcala, artist. Jim Novak, letterer. George Russos, colorist. Al Milgrom, editor. Jim Shooter, editor-in-chief. So Hulk plummets to Earth in the Canadian wilderness. This lovely woman goes to investigate. She's a nurse staying in this cabin in the woods. Her husband is away. He's a doctor. He's away delivering a baby. And she finds the Hulk and sees he's knocked unconscious from his tumultuous landing. She's afraid he's going to suffocate, which is a pretty legitimate concern. And she can't move him. So it turns out she has dug out around him to protect him from suffocating while he was unconscious. Of course, he wakes up, initially misunderstands her, and then believes her story that she was trying to help him. In the meantime, she twists her ankle. And take a moment to just enjoy this Sal Buscema, Alfredo Alcala artwork. So nice. I love the way Alcala finishes Buscema's pencils here. Just really nice, solid. There is certainly a similarity to what Ernie Chan did on Sal's pencils during their too brief run in the early 200s of Hulk, but it's different. It's its own thing. Okay, so here we have our Sasquatch introduction. The Parliament Buildings, Ottawa, Ontario, Canada. On any given day, Hundreds will wander through the halls of this hallowed house of government, little suspecting what lies only 500 meters below their feet. This arena of controlled pandemonium is part of the Ministry of Defense, a top secret section codenamed Department H. Well, mister, the Yanks say that suborbital blip we monitored last night was the Hawk, and the RCMP station at Dawson Creek has 2 scared fishermen to back that up. No need for alarm, Colonel, I assure you that the situation's well in hand. We have been monitoring the Hawk's unique bioradiations all night. He's moved only about 2 kilometers in that time. Then why hasn't he been seized? Why hasn't he been isolated? Where's this new superhero squad, this Alpha Flight I've heard so much about? Unfortunately, sir, 5 of Alpha Flight's members are otherwise disposed. You said 5? Yes, Aurora, Shaman, Vindicator, North Star, and Snowbird are off on maneuvers. Fortunately, we still have Sasquatch. What? Send that orange Wookiee against the Hulk? You can't be serious, Farnham. Why not, Colonel? Even before he discovered a way to become the Sasquatch, Dr. Lankowski proved himself to be one of our more resourceful operatives. But against the Hulk, we sent a single agent. Against him once before, and a single agent of this stature, Colonel. And of course, they have a note. Weapon X, better known as the Wolverine, now the X-Men, Al. It would have been nice if they noted that it was Hulk 180, 181, but we all knew that. All right, so he's big. The Hulk has made hash of beasts twice that size. Bigger, granted. But I think this tape will serve to dispel your apprehension. So we're going to get a briefing on what Sasquatch can do here. You'll recall, Colonel, that HMS Diefenbacher sustained damage off the Magdalen Islands some months ago. What you probably don't know is that Sasquatch and Vindicator were on hand to render aid. I remind you, Colonel, that the Dief is a fully equipped destroyer. Yet, as you can see, Sasquatch not only pulled her ashore, but he lifted her up out of the water unaided, sir. This enabled Vindicator to use the electromagnetic energy beam of his battlesuit to weld the torn hull. Repairs effected, Sasquatch then pushed the ship back into the deep water. So they're suitably impressed, and Sasquatch is given the go-ahead to go after the Hulk, and they get Walter Lankowski, his alter ego, while he's lecturing. And I'll stop also and say, I've said on the show before, Sasquatch is an easy character to draw. He's difficult to draw well, and I think he looks really good in this story. And I think it's probably due in large part to Alcala's inks. Sal is good at getting the basic figure down, but it's Alcala's inks that I think give him the kind of more solid look that I look for in a well-rendered Sasquatch figure. And Byrne, of course, is unparalleled at it. Meanwhile, the Hulk is getting comfortable here, and this woman her name is Morris, her cabin, and when the Hulk calms down, he becomes Bruce Banner. And great transformation sequence here as Sasquatch is taken near the area in this helicopter. And we can see he's still getting used to being Sasquatch, so he has to go into this trance state to transform. And once we get to Alpha Flight and shoot, that's going to be 5 years from this publication, roughly. He could transform at will. And really cool sequence, though. Suddenly, his bodily hair thickens, grows longer. His muscles tense and swell. His nails stretch into talon-like claws. His back humps as small muscles become large, and large muscles become enormous. And all the while, the golden mane grows, the skin darkens, and finally, Walter Lankowski looks out through scarlet-tinted eyes and rises to his feet once more as Sasquatch. And again, really nice figure work here on Sasquatch. He looks cool. I've covered Hulk 272 on the show before, and that's, I think, all Sal. And while I do like that art, this version of Sasquatch with Sal and Alfredo Alcala is much more to my liking. So Sasquatch jumps out of the helicopter, no parachute needed, and bounds in after the Hulk. Meanwhile, Moores goes to fetch her cat, and she's gone for a little while. Then Banner hears her screaming, and Sasquatch shows up, and we get a good sense of the scale here of just how big he is. He's 10 feet tall, really cool. And Banner has this hunting rifle, and this is a great moment here, I'll read. He reacts instinctively, snapping the rifle to his shoulder, sighting on the heart of the great orange nightmare. But what am I doing? This is the way they always react to the Hulk. I can't do it. I just can't. A wise decision, Doctor. You talk? Oh, indeed, Dr. Banner, and quite eloquently. I'm sure you'll agree. Bruce, what is it? Forgive my manners, miss. Were Dr. Banner and I here alone, I would formally introduce myself. But as you undoubtedly lack the required security clearances, please call me Sasquatch. I love this angled panel, just filled with Sasquatch's face and those gleaming red eyes. Really cool. So, foolishly, he is here to test himself against the Hulk. And knowing Bruce Banner is the Hulk and knowing what it takes for Banner to transform into the Hulk, he begins to harass, to bully, and basically manhandle Banner to get him to transform. And while doing so, dangles him over this precipice. And unwittingly, Banner's shirt rips. But before Sasquatch can answer that charge, the faint sound of tearing cloth renders it academic. Oh no! Great panel here showing Banner's horror. And of course, Moores wants Sasquatch to let him go. And now it's about to be on, because when Banner hits the ground, it's not Banner at all, it's the Hulk. Now where is Hulk? Wait, Hulk remembers Girl. Girl tried to help the Hulk, but Orange Fur tried to hurt the Hulk, made the Hulk fall. Dr. Banner, you must have changed just in time. Thank heavens you're all right. Banner? Banner? You dare to call the Hulk Banner? Hulk is not Banner, Orange Fur. Hulk will show you. Hulk will teach you that. So I love this panel showing their first meeting here. And this is incredible, this open panel with Hulk hurtling himself at Sasquatch. And the battle is on, and it's a great one. As we can see, initially, Sasquatch seems to maybe have the upper hand. He's pretty powerful, but he's going to find, as all of Hulk's foes find, that the madder Hulk gets, the stronger Hulk gets. This time, Sasquatch braces himself for the cannonball assault, but apparently that bracing is not enough. Remarkable. I do believe that he's actually growing stronger as we fight. I was more powerful when we started, but he's gaining an edge. If I'm at all wise, I'll end this now. So, great sequence here. Sasquatch using this tree to bat the Hulk, but it only makes Hulk madder. And this is just such a great panel, just an unhinged Hulk emerging from the rubble and bashing his way through this giant tree to get to Sasquatch. And I love, too, how well this straight-on panel shows the scale difference between the two characters. 10 feet tall, 7 feet tall, 1 ton, 1,000 pounds. But as the Canadian Army official lamented, Hulk has made mincemeat of much larger foes than Sasquatch, and we're about to see that come to pass here. But rendered just incredibly by our art team here. Keep in mind, too, John Byrne is a consultant on this story. He's part of writing this story, so this is how he sees the character as well, the character he created with Chris Claremont. Sorry, Hulk, I'm no fool. If I were a fool, I'd go on fighting instead of ending this battle right here and now. But it doesn't end the battle. Even he delivers a terrific blow with this tree stump. And they're going at it here. They're devastating the landscape. And Man, can Sal draw a punch. It's just incredible here. Sasquatch dodges out of the way. It causes a landslide, and it puts Morris and her cat in mortal danger. And of course, Sasquatch may be a little bit redeeming himself. She'll be crushed. And with that, what may well be the second strongest legs on the face of the earth suddenly thrust their owner forward in a desperate rescue attempt. Hulk misunderstands, and he jumps for Sasquatch as well, thinking he's trying to hurt the woman. And everyone's buried in this avalanche. Love this ad for the Spider-Woman cartoon. For long, long moments, all is silent. Then slowly, painfully, a clump of orange fur pokes through the stone. Sasquatch lives, and so it would seem does the girl. Take it easy, miss. It's all over now. Everything's all right. All right. But what about the Hulk? So Hulk does emerge from the rubble. Put the girl down. Put her down and Hulk will smash you forever. But in this moment of lucidity, Hulk sees that his unbridled rage has actually scared the woman he was trying to protect. And that kind of snaps him out of his bloodlust. We're going to see. And somehow, even through his blinding, searing rage, the Hulk knows that what has caused that fear. All right, Hulk, this has already gone further than I planned. But if you want me, here I am. Just promise me that you won't harm the girl. Hulk? Bah, Hulk is finished. What? But I don't understand. What is to understand? Please, Hulk, I'm sorry. Sorry. You were sorry you tried to hurt Hulk, maybe tried to kill him. And why? Because you thought you were strong? Because you thought you were stronger than the Hulk? Well, you were wrong. Wrong! No one is stronger than the Hulk. There are memes online, and there are on Facebook and other places where they post the single panel shots of Sal Buscema drawing people getting clobbered, getting punched. I love this backhand, and this backhand should probably be among those because it's just so good. It's really great. No one is stronger than the Hulk. And he bounds off. Again, tragically, you could almost play the music at the end of the TV show as you're reading these panels because it's much the same when what happens. Hulk is alone. So that's it. We get a great house ad for Rom, which is cool. And of course, we get a toy ad for Rom here at the end. But yeah, what an amazing 2 years it was for the Hulk to get these two annuals. Annual 6 was okay. Annual 9 was okay. But these two were a pair of real bangers. Totally awesome. And to find them for $2 each at Comics for Less in Chicago, man, that was a great get, along with a few others, which I'll be sharing in the episodes moving forward with the show. But I do hope you enjoyed this one. If you did, please like and subscribe. Tell your friends, and I'll bring you more soon on Scott Reads Comics. Thanks for watching.